Alright everyone, yesterday Hillary Clinton had a little bit of a double header. She came out first and foremost and started rambling about free speech, and of course her views on that are similar to John Kerry's. John Kerry's like, well, maybe we should amend the First Amendment because this whole free speech thing is getting a little bit out of hand. Hillary Clinton seems to tack along basically in the same neoliberal direction. Basically, people are saying things that are inconvenient to my ideology, so they shouldn't be allowed to say anything at all. They should be banned. Then she has an even more draconian idea, which is to end Section 230. This is exactly the wrong thing to do. Section 230 in its current form, I've talked about it before, Trump has talked about it before, that was his first campaign platform on his first Rumble video. Part of it was reforming Section 230. The solution is very clear. In its current form, Section 230 allows large websites like Google, etc., to act as judge, jury, and executioner. They can have their cake and eat it too. They act as both platform and publisher. So completely legal, lawful opinions can be banned. So they're acting as a publisher, they're curating content when they do that, they can screw with their algorithms and stuff. But at the same time they enjoy wide sweeping legal protections for anything that would be illegal or non-speech, like spam and stuff like that, botting, algorithmic distortion and hijacking on their platforms. So they can moderate content while also claiming the protection of a platform. Now the reason why Section 230 was created in the first place was, generally speaking, to allow large sites to actually exist in the first place. Let's say that I create a platform for video hosting and somebody posts illegal content on the platform. If I can be sued for whatever anyone posts, I'm going to have to not have a platform, and I can't have a platform. Not unless I have, number one, an army of lawyers, and number two, access to multi-billion-dollar AI systems. Then I can probably compensate. But other than that, smaller sites, smaller platforms, they'd all die. Every single one of them. Even the large platforms would be hazarded because there's going to be illegal material that's posted there. All you need are a few instances of lawsuits existing as a result of that, and you pay through the nose and your company goes bankrupt. So Section 230 is important. The real way to solve the problem of having to have that sort of protection but it being misused is to prevent it from being misused. It requires one simple fix. Sites will declare themselves either platform or publisher. If you declare yourself a publisher, you can curate content to your heart's delight, ban whoever you want, algorithmically distort as much as you want, editorialize as much as you want, do whatever the hell you want to do. It's your company, it's your choice, you're a publisher. So like a news site, like CNN. You have an editorial boardroom. You submit something to CNN. They can say yay or nay, we're going to publish this. They are a publisher. If you're YouTube though, you'd have to declare yourself to be like a platform, something like that. You'd have to say, okay, we're going to moderate illegal content, but we're not going to moderate anything else, and we're not going to distort our algorithms. We're going to allow them to be organic. Ta-da! You've just solved the problem completely. It's a complete solution. It covers 100% of instances. Copyright, for example. Publisher. Publisher says, well, this is copyrighted material, we're not going to publish it. They're liable if they publish something that would be defamatory. They're liable if they publish slander. They're liable if they publish something like that. But then they have the option to publish it. They have a stopgap in place, an editorial system. The platform is not liable for the copyrighted content because so long as it's up there, as long as there's a reporting system in full force, then they can simply get to it in due time. Now, here are some examples of things that would not be protected even on a platform. Copyrighted content, illicit content, so of the illegal sort. Pornography under obscenity laws, there's a gray area there, that's a different debate. Spam, because it's not speech at all. Botting, because it's not speech at all. Strictly illegal forms of speech, so terroristic threats, threats of violence, stalking, harassment, things of that nature. Those wouldn't be covered. Those would still be able to be removed. But you wouldn't be able to remove a YouTube video or algorithmically demote it simply because the person has an unorthodox political opinion. So if they said, I am going to kill this person, you can ban them for that. If they said, I would like to kill this group of people, or I think that this person deserves death, or something like that, you wouldn't be able to ban them. You're not actually threatening anyone. You're expressing an opinion. That's the way to reform Section 230. This is, by the way, what Trump has proposed. He sounded almost exactly like me on some of my videos in his very first Rumble upload for his Agenda 47, which I very much appreciated. It was an A+ video. I talked about it at the time. The Clintons and the Kerrys of the world, meanwhile, want to take away 230, which would cripple the small business internet completely. It would destroy it. It wouldn't exist anymore. There would be no alternative platforms. Even the mainline platforms would probably get crippled by lawsuits. They would have to heavily editorialize, like if you think that YouTube censorship is bad now, or Facebook censorship, or Twitter censorship, which is less than the other two, or any of these other sites, Instagram or whatever, oh, it would get 10 times worse. They would have to really, really crack down. They'd have to fiddle around with their systems. I mean, it would be onerous, time-consuming, and money-consuming to even create the changes that they would need to do absent Section 230 or something akin to it. So I support Section 230, just not in its current form. Hillary Clinton just wants to throw the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak. As far as her beliefs with regards to free expression in general, she and Kerry and some of these other people appear to believe that the First Amendment was a mistake and a bad idea. No, actually, if anything, it should be expanded. If anything, the only other way to compensate for 230 and the problems inherent there in its current form would be to expand the First Amendment to generally cover corporations as well insofar as they work with governments in any capacity. If you did that, then larger corporations, they take grants, they platform government figures that are taxpayer funded, services like NOAA, USGS alerts, stuff like that. You'd no longer be able to at least ban or distort US sourced material from private individuals or groups on those platforms, because it would become illegal. That would be another fix. You probably do both at the same time, although it might be superfluous. I mean, the only other problem is, let's say somebody does engage in like spammy behavior, but they are a real person, but you booted them anyway. There could be a constitutional battle over that. So maybe the latter idea is lesser than the former. But Hillary Clinton is completely wrong. Not that she hasn't been the whole time. She sounds a little bit like Dianne Feinstein 10 years ago, when she came out and said that she didn't think that blogging should be protected under the First Amendment because they're not real journalists. Well, yeah, I mean, journalism is not, you've got a White House press pass. But she seemed to believe that was the case, that the First Amendment has to do with modern convention and isn't an originalist sort of text. It's meant to be a very explicit blanket text. The right of free speech, the right of free expression, the right to gather, express your grievances, etc. And separation of church and state, of course, not establishing a state religion effectively. Hillary Clinton's been consistently wrong on this and pretty much every other issue for a very, very long time. Thankfully, she's not in politics anymore. The Clintons are a waning force within politics. The old neoliberals are beginning to lose power. Only problem is, on one end, they're being replaced by the far left. So, there's always that as well. That's about all. Peace out.